All right, and live we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome to pre-workshop hangout. Today only 5 minutes, but we are still here. And let's do maybe a quick sound check. So we have Jarno here as our streamer today, connecting from Aalto University. Then we have Oscar and Johan as our instructors for today. Jarno, do you want to start the sound audio check?
Yeah. So I guess we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Well, okay. So order is Jarno, Johan, Samantha, Oscar. Okay. 1,
2,
3,
4.
Okay. At least like on my screen, it looks good.
Sounds fine.
If someone who's listening on Twitch can let us know, that's great.
All right. Yes, let's take a look at our notes document. So for everyone who is here and not yet familiar with that, it's what we're showing on screen. It's what you got in via email. Unfortunately, today, not right before this stream because of technical difficulties, but you got it like when you registered to the workshop. There's a link to the notes document. And this is what you're seeing here on screen. And Johan, if you could show us how this can be edited. So everyone can find a little pen symbol either on the upper left or upper right of the document.
Trying to hide. Okay, now it's visible maybe.
Yes,
Oh.
so for Johan, it's on the upper left.
Okay.
So there is a
So
pen symbol, which brings you into edit mode, or what Johan just clicked is the both double view, or however it is called, to see both the rendered version and the edit version. And if we scroll down there, now we will have some icebreaker questions prepared for you. So you can get used to the document and get to know a little bit about each other who is here all in the workshop. So first question there is, what programming languages are you normally working with? And I will ask that to our instructors for today. So what are your daily programming languages, Oscar?
Well, it's mostly Python, I'd say, and maybe then it's occasionally some Bash for smaller scripting, but that's mostly it.
Okay, how about Johan?
Yeah, so I'm working a lot with Bash in Python in daily work. Then in some code projects where I'm one of the main developers, I'm using Fortran and also CUDA for GPU programming.
Okay, so for everyone watching today, know that you can ask also questions about these languages today. And then we have also a few people working here behind the scenes on answering questions in this document. So this document is also used for asking questions during the workshop to our instructors and our friends behind the scenes. And you can also, if you know the answer to some questions appearing here, you can, of course, also answer yourself. Then we have another icebreaker question. What does testing your code mean for you, and how do you test? So in your daily life, do you test, Oscar?
So, well, not in my sort of work day-to-day stuff, but in the projects that I'm doing some more actual programming, that there I do test quite a lot. Yes. Yeah, I guess we'll talk more later a little bit about the different types of testing that are maybe relevant, and yeah.
Yeah. How about Johan?
Yes, I'm using testing in various contexts, both for a project where I'm one of the developers, and also when I install codes on a supercomputer at PDC in Stockholm, where I'm working, then yeah, maybe by default we run through some test suites after having built and installed a program.
Okay. So we still have 1 minute before we're officially starting. Do you briefly want to introduce yourself to our participants, where you are located, where do you work, what do you work, Oscar?
Yeah, sure. So I work at CSC at CSC as a machine learning specialist, and yeah, so I mostly I help users use our supercomputers, mostly in the machine learning context, GPU stuff. And then I work in several research projects, also in a similar support role, but kind of a little bit more embedded in a group that does the actual research.
Okay, how about Johan?
Yeah, so I work at the PDC Center for High Performance Computing at KTH in Stockholm, where we are currently operating the largest supercomputer in the country, and that's a machine named Dardel, which has AMD CPUs and GPUs. So some of you might recognize this as the similar configuration as you have on the Lumi supercomputer in Finland. So it's a lot of commonalities there. And I have a background in material science research. So a lot of the work that I do at PDC is connecting to material science simulations and programs. And related to that, I am then working quite a bit with rather traditional languages such as Fortran and C++.
Okay, now we have 1 minute after the hour, so we can officially get started here. Welcome everyone to day 8 of the CodeRefinery workshop, where we'll be talking and practicing automated testing. For those of you that have just been here, we have here with me Oscar and Johan, who will be the instructors for today, and also Jarno is here doing the behind the scenes, the streaming setup for you. My name is Samantha. I'm project manager for CodeRefinery, and just briefly here to say hi and in the very end. So what I wanted to show you is first our workshop event page. Johan, if you could switch to that one. Yes, so hopefully you know that that's the page where you registered, and here you can find the link to our lesson materials for today. If you scroll down through the schedule towards day 8, behind the automated testing name, there's a link to the materials. And there you can also find all the question and answers from the previous days. If you go in the upper navigation bar under questions, and also information about their certificates. Let's wait a moment for scrolling all the way up. Okay. And then let's switch to our notes document. That's the main document that you will need for today. So this link you got with the registration to this workshop. And that will be our communication channel for today. So here you can ask questions. We will in between ask some questions how it's going during the exercises to identify if we need more or less time for them. And it's also the place where you can find our icebreaker. So when you are clicking the link in the email to the notes document, you will find it in view mode. So that looks something like what is shown right now on screen to the right. To go and edit this document, you can go all the way to the top of the document and find the little pen symbol. It's either up to the right somewhere or up to the left where it is for Johan, showing the clicking right now. That brings you into edit mode, and then you can practice editing this document with plain text by adding an O for the programming language that you're generally using, and then also let us know how you currently do testing. And yes, we also have Michele behind the scenes who is the notes manager. So there will be headers appearing during the lesson that give you the exact links to the lesson materials where we are at each moment. And when there's exercises, he will put the information on where you can find the exercise. Yes, so we will have 2 exercise sessions and 1 break today, and a quick outro with a little bit of hints for the next session as well on modular code development in the very end. And with that, I remind you about the code of conduct. Everyone here is at a different level, and that's okay. You can ask questions freely, you can answer them as well, but please be nice and considerate with each other. And with that, I'll give over to Johan for starting today's automated testing session.